Hey YouTube, my name's Kayla Rain, and today I will be doing my wrap-up for the month of January and a potential TBR for February. So January was a pretty good reading month for me in regards to the fact that most of the books that I read were actually really good and I enjoyed them. There were only, I think, 2 duds in there that I didn't like all that much. I mean, even those weren't that bad. So it was a pretty good month. Really excited to share with you guys what I read and how I rated them. So I'm going to get started with Dragonflight by Anne McCaffrey, and one of the things that I wanted to do this year is I wanted to read at least 24 books off of NPR's list of top 100 sci-fi fantasy novels, and this is one of the books that I started off with. And I have about 100 pages left, so I haven't finished it, but I will have finished it by the end of today, which is the last day of January, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to be giving this book a 5 out of 5 stars. I really loved it. The world building is awesome. The characters are amazing. We have a strong female lead character, which is so awesome in a fantasy novel, and I am very excited to kind of learn more about this world with the other books in the series. And then also following the theme of NPR's Top 100 Sci-Fi Fantasy Novels, I have Slaughterhouse 5 by Kurt Vonnegut. I'm pretty sure I mispronounced that in a previous video, but whatever, it happens. This is a satirical novel on the glorification of war, and also kind of just America's view on poverty and violence, and it's definitely an interesting read. It'll get you thinking. It's a little raunchy, so if you are younger, I don't know that I could recommend this because there is definitely some language in here, there's definitely sex in here, violence, there's some animal cruelty, which I was very uncomfortable with and kind of wish that hadn't have been in there for that one. But overall, I gave this book a 4 out of 5 stars, and it definitely has a place on that list. Next, I have Between Shades of Grey by Rutya Sepetys. Here's another name that I'm probably butchering, but I really enjoyed this book. It kind of looked at the issues that people in Lithuania had during World War II, which is something that I wasn't very familiar with because honestly most of the things that I know about World War II are Nazi Germany related, just because I feel like that's really the popular theme of World War II, that and the atom bomb. So it was very interesting to see this point of view and this little piece of history that I didn't know that much about. And I ended up giving this book 4 out of 5 stars. This is a book that I started my new year off with, and it is Sand by Colleen Hoover, and I'm so glad that I started my new year off finishing this book just because I think this set the precedence for a great year of reading. I really enjoyed this book, super romantic, and I ended up giving it 4.5 out of 5 stars, though for Goodreads it was 5 stars. I also read Rebel Springs by Morgan Rhodes this month, and this is the follow-up to the Fallen Kingdoms book, which is part of the Fallen Kingdoms series. I'm really enjoying the series so far, and I thought this follow-up book just kind of really built on the world that we had before and was even better than the first one. So I gave this 4.5 out of 5 stars. This was one of my duds this month, and it is My Name is Memory by Anne Brashers, and I gave it 3 out of 5 stars because it was good. The idea was there, but I just felt like some of the subplots weren't very well explored. I ended up doing a book review on this, so if you want to check it out, I'll link it in the down bar below. But I enjoyed the idea, but I didn't so much enjoy the way the idea was executed. So, like I said, 3 out of 5 stars. I read The Iron Trial by Holly Black and Cassandra Clare, and I have read books by Holly Black before, but I had never read anything by Cassandra Clare before, and this has definitely got me interested in reading some of her stuff. I really enjoyed this book. I went into it not thinking about Harry Potter because I'd seen some other reviews on it that said if you compare it to Harry Potter you'll completely ruin it, so I just kind of put that out of my mind and ended up really enjoying it. I thought the characters were super fun in this, the storyline, and if you're comparing it to Harry Potter, of course you're going to be able to find similarities, but there are so many differences that I think makes it to where this book can stand up on its own, and I ended up giving it 4 out of 5 stars. I read this book for a year-a-thon, which the theme this month was standalone novels, and I read More Than This by Patrick Ness, and I did enjoy it. I just felt like the ending was a little off for me, so I ended up giving it 3.5 out of 5 stars on Goodreads, and I still recommend it. I just feel like the less you know about this book going into it, the better you are. And then also for the year-a-thon, I read The Cure for Dreaming by Kat Winters. Hands down, complete 5 out of 5 stars. Best book I read this month. Probably going to be one of the best books I've read this entire year, if I'm being honest. I really, really enjoyed it. I did a review on it, and I'll go ahead and link that in the down bar as well. And I love this book. I highly recommend it. It is so, so good. It's a historical fiction with a paranormal aspect, so what more could you ask for? I also read The Terminals by Royce Scott Buckingham, which is possibly the world's most refined name. I'm just putting that out there. I gave this book a 3.5 out of 4 stars. I felt like the character development in this book was lacking, but the idea, the actual theme of the book was really awesome. I liked it. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a series, at least the way he set this first book up. It seems like it's going to be a series, and I'm interested to see where this goes. I also read The Darkest Part of the Forest by Holly Black, and I'm definitely going to be doing a review on this. Really enjoyed this book. It's a standalone fantasy novel, that's really rare, and I just really liked it. The characters were awesome in it. The storyline was really freaking awesome, and just Holly Black, she's just awesome. I gave this book 4.5 out of 5 stars. And finally, I read The Encyclopedia of Early Earth by Isabel Greenberg, and this is just a beautiful graphic novel. I'm so glad I picked this up. I will definitely be doing a review on this, and just, if you haven't read a graphic novel before, highly recommend starting with this one. It's very easy to read, the illustrations are beautiful, and the story is just beautiful. I really, really enjoyed this book, and I ended up giving it a 4 out of 5 stars. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about my potential TBR, and I don't really like to set up a specific TBR for anything, even like readathons. I like to have a couple of different options just because my tastes change. Sometimes I'll read a book and I'm just not feeling it, and I don't want to force myself to read a book that I'm not enjoying, because then that's just going to ruin the book for me, and maybe I could have enjoyed it at a later time. And 3 of the books that I'll be reading actually go with a series, the Old Man War series by John Scalzi, and I'm going to try to read these 3 because I got them in a box set and they seem pretty good, and I've heard really great things about them, so I'm going to give them a try this month. And they include The Last Colony, The Ghost Brigades, and The Old Man's War. I'm not sure what order they go in. I'm guessing maybe this is the first one, but I'll definitely look that up online before I start reading these books. And I also plan on reading Watchmen, which is a graphic novel by Alan Moore and Dave Gibbons, and I've heard great things about this. Nathaniel Dyer, this one's for you. 5 years ago he told me I needed to read this, and I'm gonna check it out, so I'm reading this month. Okay guys, that has been it for my wrap up in TBR, and I hope that you guys have been reading some awesome books this month too, and you have some great books that are lined up. So go ahead and comment in the comment section below what was your favorite book this month, and also what books do you plan on reading for the month of February. Go ahead and give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos as I upload them. And as always guys, thanks for watching. Bye! I wish it was a sweater so I could wear it. Slurdercar. Shoot.